Hi, Shell, and hello to all you other wonderful weirdos watching. I know what you're thinking. It's not been that long since my last holiday vlog, but I always pick 2 weeks in the beginning of July. The Amsterdam was just a bonus this year. My original plan was to pre-record 2 short story Saturdays and have vlogs as additional, but I had a very busy, stressful work week, so when I got home, I just didn't want to stress myself out even more. So I kind of decided against it because I felt overworked that week, anyways. And I don't want to feel overworked doing my hobby. It's supposed to be a fun thing for me to do. So I decided I'm gonna have a break, give myself that time away from stress. So every year I try to escape the inland temperature rise that I am not used to because I'm a northerner, and every summer I try to go north just to escape the heat. And that's exactly what I did. And this year I went to my parents' house, which is usually the plan of action, except for last year where I went to Norway instead. So I got some very rickety clips of the train journey here, but I did get some good shots of the castle and the cathedral with the rivers. It is a beautiful city. I cannot believe my luck in finding a second Waterstones on the exact same street, and they had a ladder. They, I think that's like a librarian's dream, is to have one of those sliding ladders. Oh, it was a beautiful bookshop. I spent some time with Shell, and she let me have Sunrise on the Reaping a few days before my birthday, which was lovely. And I've basically devoured part one. Unfortunately, I got caught out in torrential rain, and my bag was not waterproof. Okay, so after the water damage to my book after being caught out in torrential rain, I have to take a hairdryer to Sunrise on the Reaping, but after that it just would not close properly, and I don't have a book press, so I've improvised with as many hardbacks as I can find, as many tomes. It's flattening it, it's flattening it. Hopefully it'll be fine. Hopefully. I just wanted to spend tonight continuing on with it, and I can't. I have to wait a very long time. Damn it. Okay, so this is kind of where all my books are at my parents' house. I had to steal this bookshelf that used to have DVDs just to spread my Doctor Who books out. Um, Never mind the gap that's in the other, that's got a use right now. But yeah, it's just shelves in the side of my wardrobe. And yeah, so I managed to read a book within minutes, but I was actually wanting to get this just because I've got a young niece that I can read it to, and my nephew can have a read through when he's old enough to read and understand it. And I saw it in a charity shop as a first edition. All it was is this blue bit was red, and they wanted 100 quid for it. It was a bit expensive. So he was like, but it's the what I'm searching for right now. Either way, I mentioned it to my mum, and she said she already got a copy off a friend. So I absolutely adored this book. It is the sweetest thing ever, and it's just really lovely. And it's just like got these lovely little bits of wisdom in here. Like, what's your best discovery? Asked them all. That I'm enough as I am, said the boy. It's just like so sweet. So recommend it as a nice little read to a child. Can't wait to actually read it to my niece or hand it to my niece so she can have her own little book.
But the biggest news is Sunrise on the Reaping. Yes, this is a dust jacket. Again, see previous clip for what's happened there. Of where that is. I this morning I did try to get to the end of part one just because I was so close to the end of part one, but because of the water damage, the pages were slowly like peeling away from the spine where it was damaged. And I was just like, I'm gonna get to the end of part one, and I'm gonna put it down, put it back under this hardbacks. It's oh, it's unfortunately I am gonna have to put it down until it's all fully dry and pristine, and I can pick it up again without it falling apart. But I am blown away by part one, anyways. But it's just like, oh my god, there's never a dull moment with Suzanne Colins. Just at the end of chapter one, somebody's head blows up because they were shot in the back of the head. It's just like, oh my god. It's like every single chapter has this cliffhanger, and that's how it's just, you devour the Hunger Games and Suzanne Collins' work, and it's just, but it's also incredibly nice to be back in Panem, back in District 12, back in that world, even though you just the political the politics in this book is just rampant as ever as we go through Hamish's reaping, because the 50th quarter quell means twice as many tributes are being reaped this year, and I just like, ouch. And there's already like a kerfuffle at Hamish's reaping. Yikes. And wow, so shenanigans and, well, I wouldn't say shenanigans, tragedy ensues, and Hamish is pulled into this, and we get a discounted Efi trinket completely assaults one of the tributes. Whoa. Like, she is a force to be reckoned with. Don't cross her path. And it's just like, we got multiple people from the previous books, and it's just like, oh my god, the references to the prequel before this, yeah. And it's just like, I am absorbed, and I need to get to the end of this book. I need this water damage to sort itself out. I want my book. It's just a shame I got caught out in torrential rain, and this, because I didn't want to leave my book at home. I was bringing it with me, and I even went as far as reading it on the bus, which was a bad mistake because it gave me travel sickness. But I didn't care. I needed to read it. It was one of those things. It was so good. I was enjoying myself all through part one. It is brilliant. I loved being back in Panem. Can't wait to pick it back up. And I think I have a few days till my birthday, and I get my other books. I'm gonna have to just like maybe pick a Doctor Who book to read whilst I'm waiting. But anyways, that's just this little section of what I've been reading up this week. I can't wait to get my hands on Frederick Buckman's My Friends, since I cannot read Sunrise on the Reaping until it's finished being pressed. It's undergoing some work, and I have to wait for that. So I was enjoying myself up until then.
What I also loved about Sunrise on the Reaping is that we get amazing characters. Like, even like the spoiled rich girl that is in this, she is amazing. You really love her by like the end of part one. It is amazing just how Suzanne Collins can write her characters to have so much depth, and they're not just like one note like stereotype. They do have a lot going for them, and that's what makes her worlds so thorough and brilliant, and how we can root for these people despite not particularly warming to them in the beginning. We end up realizing what they are like and why they are like this, and end up the way they are or in the situation they are in. And your heart goes out for some of these people, especially the kids that get raped. And then you get to the training center, and it gets even worse because of the punishment that the peacekeepers are putting on one of the victors from previous, and that because he was trying to do sabotage, and so they raped his son and he made him be the one who's mentoring him. And it is so heartbreaking to see. Oh, because the son is only like 13 and he's such a sweet boy, and you just don't want him to go into the slaughter. It's a battle royale, and it's not a place for this little sweet boy. But I know I'm going to cry my eyes out when it happens, because you know the ending and how this Hunger Games is going to work, just because this is a prequel book and we know who survives and how. But it's the build up and that we are seeing, and Suzanne Collins is making the build up so brilliant, even though we know the outcome. Prequels walk a very fine line between not having any tension whatsoever because we know the outcome, and so there's not really much point in them. But this is like expanding the world, the lore, and the history, whilst also giving humanity to people we will never see in the original trilogy. And you get to see Haymitch's story and how he interacts with everyone around him, and it's so brilliantly done. And I am just staring at Sunrise and the Reaping underneath the stack of books longingly. I just want to get into it again. I have attempted to read one of my Doctor Who books, but I'm not invested because I am so invested in Sunrise on the Reaping. It is phenomenal. But anyways, I've been spending less time online this week, and it's because I've been reading, I've been going out. Just today we went to Seaham Harbour, and my mum took me down to the beach, and I explored the caves, which were brilliant. I learned how that I can skim a stone, which was I've never skimmed a stone before, so that was very nice to be doing. So whilst everybody else was looking for sea glass, me and my mum were looking for flat, round stones to skim, which was quite nice. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Bye, Shell, and goodbye to all you other wonderful weirdos.